One of my favorite things with Samurai Showdown is the colorful cast of characters and the different playstyle that each character represents. The problem with having such a varied cast is that for new players it's often difficult to figure out what mechanics apply to who can do what, and what moves you should even really be doing. So today we're going to look at Kazuki Kazuma and some of his moves and mechanics that we can use with him and apply to other characters and their playstyles. Learning fighting games is difficult, and for new players, they've probably heard people talk about frame data and tried to figure out what all that meant. And we're not going to talk a lot about frame data today because there are more important fundamentals that go into trying to use your moves and knowing what moves you can do in what strings before you talk specifically about frame data and what's plus and what's minus. So today we're just going to focus on a basic level of doing moves, canceling them into special moves, and building what you can out of that. One of the things that the game does not ever explain to you is that there are moves that you can cancel the animations of. After you've hit someone with it, if you input the commands for one of a character's special moves, you'll stop doing the animation for that normal attack after it hits and cancel it into a special move. This is called special canceling. Unfortunately, not all normal moves can be canceled in special moves. Which moves you can and can't cancel depend on the character you're playing. Trying out new characters means you have to learn new moves that can and can't be cancelled, and affects how you will construct combos for those characters. In this clip, you can see that dashing light slash for Kazuki can't be cancelled. No matter what special move I input afterwards, it won't let you cancel out of it. But his dashing medium slash lets you cancel out of it. It's a little more risky to use, but if you connect with it, you can cancel it into a special move and try to get some extra damage. So to recap, you're going to hit a cancelable normal move, and while it's making contact, input the commands for a special move. This should cancel the first move into the second and create a basic 2-hit combo. So let's head to training mode and test that out right now. This is what I personally use for training settings when I'm trying to practice combos. There are a couple key settings that you're going to want to take note of. The first is the guard setting. The one-hit guard setting makes it so that if you would have lost a combo either by inputting a command incorrectly or by being too slow with an input, the computer will automatically guard, resetting the hit counter and letting you know that against a human opponent, it is possible that they would have blocked those hits. The next two settings come down to a little bit of personal preference. I prefer having the key data and attack data on so that I can look at how the game is interpreting my inputs and I can see the damage and rage build of the attacks that I've done. I definitely recommend having key data on though, because it shows you how the game is interpreting your inputs, and if you're having problems with a combo or a special move input, it'll show you what the game thinks you're doing and you can try to adjust on your end. From the same menu you can get to the command list. From here you can see the special moves for every character in the game. There's also a display controls command, which lets you see the different controls and conditions that each move has. From here you can also see your weapon flipping technique and super special move. This is very useful if you're not already familiar with your character's moves, or if you just need a refresher on something you've already learned. Let's take a look at one of the most basic combos that uses an input that Kazuki, along with a lot of other characters in the game, make use of. This is a combo that I showed a clip of earlier, and we're going to go back and take a look at it and break down how the inputs actually work and how they're canceling into each other. When Kazuki hits a medium slash right here, you can input the commands for a special move and immediately go into it, creating a combo. In Samurai Showdown in particular, canceling a normal move into a special move is one of the best ways to add extra damage after already successfully landing a blow. You can also do this with Kazuki's other special moves, including his weapon flipping technique, but not super special moves. Based on the settings that we went through earlier, if you're too slow or sloppy doing an input, you'll see the special move get blocked because it won't truly connect into a combo. You can see that right here. While being too slow is easier to diagnose when you're only doing 2-move combos, as you start adding complexity to combos, it becomes harder to see where you were too slow or where your inputs were a problem. Now let's take a look at the most basic way to add on to a 2-hit combo. By hitting a late jumping attack, you're actually able to go into any of the ground combos that we've covered before. The timing on this can be a little tricky. It's possible to hit the button early and still make contact with the move, but not be able to combo into it, and it's possible to hit the button too late and make it so that the move won't connect at all. Hitting here is an example of good timing. This will let you go into a combo if you begin it immediately when you hit the ground. This is an example of hitting the button too late. Even though you can see the heavy slash in the command history, the move never came out because it didn't have enough time. It's also possible to have this happen where the animation will even begin, but the move will be cancelled upon touching the ground. Timing it correctly can be difficult, but with a little bit of practice and some grinding and training mode, you'll certainly be getting it before too long. To recap this section, you're going to want to hit a properly timed jumping attack, and immediately when you hit the ground, input for another move or combo. By combining this with special cancels, you're able to do some of the most highly damaging combos in the game. Combos with both jumping moves and special cancels translate to some of the most damaging combos across the entire cast. But there's another thing that we need to take a look at when it comes to building combos. There are special moves that can behave differently under certain circumstances. Some moves are enhanced during rage, and others can be enhanced by the character using them. Moves that are different at max rage will have this symbol beside them in the command list. Kazuki is a little unique in that his Flames of Disaster alter most of his special moves. Generally, special moves behave differently depending on which button you press when you use them. For most characters, this means that you have a more risky and more damaging move depending on which level of slash you use, but for other characters, it can change the height that their attack hits at. While at first it can be a lot to learn, after a little bit of effort and practicing on what moves you can use when, soon you'll be the expert teaching others how to do it. Or at the very least, showing them this video so that I can. So you've done it. You master your combos, and you go online, and you think you're going for the perfect move, and then this happens. Sometimes you'll run up against someone much better than you, and you'll be trying to put all the pieces of your work back together. Truth is, there's always more to learn and mistakes to be made. But with a lot of practice, effort, and losing, eventually all of us can get a little better. At this point, I'd like to thank you for sticking around, watching this long video, and learning a little bit about what Samurai Shodown has to offer. If you're a new player trying to find their way, I'd recommend that you go to the Reddit and the Discord that I've linked in the description of this video to connect with other people that you can play games against or learn a little bit from. If this video helped you out, consider checking out some of the other combo videos on my channel to get a feel for what the other characters can do. Remember to subscribe if you want to keep up with everything I'm uploading in the future. To close out this video, let's take a look back at some of my best clips from 2019.